What up guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be all about long distance relationships, kind of like the do's and don'ts and just how it was in my experience. And I'm just gonna jump right into it. And here's a huge thing about a long distance relationship is for most people the distance is what makes or breaks them, and some people can't handle the distance. They just, they want to be with that person and they can't handle it, and that's why they break up. But with me and my ex, like, the distance really didn't have effect on us. Like, that's not why we broke up, basically, like, the only effect it really had it was I knew he would have such a better life here than he did where he was at. Like, things were just so complicated, and I could tell like he was struggling with where he was at, and I just knew that if he was down here he would have so many more opportunities. And it would just be better for him, and he would be happier, and I could help him out, and that's the only real effect that distance had. And it wasn't like the distance, it was just I wished he was down here. And there have been times since we've broken up that I'm just like, I wish he would go back to the state he was living in and just never come back down here, because I mean, I was being bitter, okay? And now I've just come to be like, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's happy, even if he's not with me, I'm happy that he's happy and he has a better life. It's kind of like, even though we're not together, I'm happy that he has a better life down here. Anyway, so the distance didn't really have that much of effect on us. Of course, there was times where we were like, I wish I could be with you, but we knew that we were going to see each other in 4 years. We had planned to meet in 4 years. We ended up meeting after 10 months of being together, but it was supposed to be 4 years. That was like the plan. But anyways, basically, like, even though we weren't together, we probably seen each other a lot more than regular couples do. Like, I was on the phone, I was on Facebook, I was on Skype all day. Like, we seen each other more than the average couple does, and basically he was involved with my whole life. I was involved with his. All of his friends know me. All of my family knew him. He was a part of our lives, and I was a part of his life, even though we weren't together. Because, like, even though he couldn't be here, I kind of like to show him and what it's like down here. And that's the hardest thing, is when you're having fun. It's not really the bad nights but it's when you're having fun and you're thinking, I wish this person was here. I wish this person was doing this with me, And so basically we just tried to involve each other in everything via Skype or phone calls or whatever else. We just tried to involve each other in each other's lives so much and stuff. But there was a time where it would be like too much, where I kind of, like, we were just so close and just talked always, but there was times where like we wanted our space, but like the other person wouldn't let us have it. Like, like sometimes, he'd be doing something all day and I'm just like, okay, and like I call him and I'm like, are you busy? And he's like, no, I'm not busy. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'll let you go. It's no problem. Like, I gotta do this stuff. I gotta do stuff anyway. And he's like, no, I'm not busy. And then he ends up talking to his friends and like completely ignores me on the phone. And so and like I would do the same thing sometimes. I'm kind of like to tell him that I was busy so that I didn't ignore him, because I don't like being ignored, and I knew he didn't either. So I would like try to tell him I'm busy, but he's like, no, I can hang on, like, it's fine. And then he'd hang on, and then he'd end up getting mad because he hung on too long, but it wasn't my fault. So basically that's like that was like one of our problems, was we were kind of too much in each other's lives sometimes, and we didn't give each other enough space. But like I don't know, like, if the thing is, I had wanted to vlog with him. I got this idea a few months before we broke up. I used to watch Daily Bumps, which, if you don't know who they are, it's Missy and Brian, and they have 2 children, Oliver and Finley. But I was watching their vlogs one day, and I was like, I want that to be, like that. They were goals to me, and they still are. And I was like, I want that to be me, and I'm not gonna, me and my boyfriend, okay, I'm not gonna say his name, And so I had wanted to vlog, but I didn't really know how it was going to work out because, like, we were long distance. It wasn't like I could just pull out a camera, but, like, I realized that we probably could have, he could have filmed his life, I could have filmed my life, and then I could have edited it and put it all together. But I just never did it, and that's one thing that I kind of regret, is because, like, I don't have any pictures of him. I wasn't that girl that, like, printed out pictures of him and had pictures in the picture frame and stuff, because, like, I probably would have if, like, we had seen each other longer, because, like, I think it was like 2 weeks after we'd seen each other in person we broke up. I'm gonna get into that later, but basically, so I didn't have any pictures of him, and I didn't really have any memories but, like, text messages and stuff. I didn't have that, and sometimes I kind of wish I would have started a YouTube channel and we would have vlogged, and I would have those kind of vlogs to look back on, and you guys would kind of know what we were and who we were, instead of me, like, trying to, because you guys would know. But the thing is, we fought, I don't want to say a lot, because towards the end of the relationship we started fighting a lot. In the beginning, you know, the first 6 to 8 months we were good, you know, but then the last 4 to 2 months we started fighting a lot, and it wasn't about the distance, it was just, it sounds so stupid to me to think of the things that we fought about, because it was just, like, over the stupidest things. Like, it would sometimes just be because we were both, like, stressed out and tired and stuff, and we just take it out on the other person. Like, it's like, I have so much to do, and nobody is, like, it wasn't even his fault. Like, it was somebody else's fault. Like, I haven't slept in 32 hours, you know, I need sleep. Just kind of take it out on him. And then there was times where, and you know, he would just take it out on me too. And that's basically what our fights were. It wasn't really distant, it wasn't like jealousy or anything like that. It wasn't like the normal couple fights. It was just basically like we were stressed out and we just kind of took it out on each other because we were stressed out. And one day he'd be saying he hated this friend of his and he was never going to talk to them again, and they screwed him over, and the next day he would go talking to them. I'm like, why do you do this? Like, they are the reason you were so upset. Why do you keep going? Like, you know, it was just stuff like that. It was never really about our relationship. It was mostly like about stupid stuff, you know. And so basically how he came down here was he was getting kicked out of the place that he lived, and I don't really know, the cops were supposed to be called, I don't know, they accused him of stealing something, and so he's just like, I'm coming down here on November 6th, I remember the day, I'm coming down here. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm coming down here. He did not have a car, so he was walking down here, okay? So I'm like, how, like, I'm trying to process all this because this was not our plan, and I didn't know how to deal with this because I didn't have anywhere for him to stay. I didn't, you know, it was not our plan. So I'm like, okay. And so he's walking down here, and it's the middle of November. It's freezing cold. It's like 30 degrees up there, and it's snowing, and, you know, I'm worried. And he has nothing. He has no money. He has no car. So I'm worried about him. I was doing everything I could to help him out, but there wasn't really nothing I could do, and I just felt helpless. And, you know, that's what all of our fights, before he started coming down here, all of our fights were about, because I was stressed out. We were both stressed out, and, you know, I had a lot on my plate. And then, you know, that just added to it. And, you know, I'd be up for like 2-3 days trying to figure out how I'm going to help him up there, and then how am I going to find him a place to live down here. You know, I was just so stressed out and so tired, and that's what our fights were about when he was coming down here, and we fought a lot. But somebody was very, very kind to buy him a bus ticket to get it down here. I'm very grateful for that person. And then once he got down here, I wanted to wait a few weeks to tell my parents that he was down here, and that, you know, I was going to start actually seeing, you know, him, and I wanted to give my parents a few weeks to get used to the idea. He ended up showing up at my house, and my parents were not happy about it, so I did not see him the first day that he came down here. But I did see him a few days later, which it was on Thanksgiving Day, and I believe it was November 28th. See, the thing is, we don't remember the day we started dating or the day we met. It was either December or January. He swears it was December, I swear it was January. But, so basically, we don't remember that. But like, I remember the day he left, the day he came here, the day we broke up. I remember like the weirdest things that I shouldn't remember, but I do. Anyways, so basically, I met him for the first time, and it was like I was in the truck going there. I'm freaking out. And I have like butterflies, and I was like I was just getting into a relationship all over again. Like, I just met him, you know. We had been 10 months together, and we had been through everything pretty much. And you know, it was just like I had just gotten into that relationship. I had butterflies. I'm trying to look good. I'm freaking out. And when I seen him, I did not cry, but I was very close to it. It was just so nice to actually see him, and him just to be down here and be safe. And you know, it was an awesome feeling. And I seen him again a few days after that. Don't remember what day. And then I think we broke up December 9th. Yeah, December 9th we broke up. And the thing is, it wasn't a mutual thing. It wasn't something we wanted. It was my parents doing. They didn't want us together. So, you know, it wasn't a mutual thing. And I had, you know, I still wanted to be with him. I mean, I was being a true teenager, and I was going to be with him whether my parents liked it or not. You know, I had planned that. And, you know, it seemed like he wasn't, I don't think he believed that it was possible for us to still date. Like, I don't think, maybe he didn't even want to still date. I don't know. But he moved on pretty quickly. I think it was a matter of days. And I don't know if he did that just kind of like get over me, to like help him get over me, because maybe he thought it was really over. And you know, that was just, the girl was just, you know, his escape from that. I don't know what it was, but I didn't move. I still, like, I'm over him. I've moved on, but I have not started dating a new person yet. And it's been a year and a half. I just haven't found a right person yet. But you know, he moved on pretty quickly, and that really upset me. And it took months to get over him, because you know, we had planned to get married, we had planned to have children, and it was legitimate plans, because I've never been the girl who plans out her wedding, plans out her life, plans anything in the future. And I did that with him. So you know, it was serious. It was a serious relationship, and you know, it ended, and it sucked. But so basically, that's how my long distance relationship went. That's my experience. I did have other long distance relationships, but none as long as this one, none as serious as this one. This was the guy that I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life, and that's basically how it went. Anyways, I'm going to end this video because I can tell it's probably like 15 minutes and it's going to take forever to upload. So I'm going to end it. So yeah, bye guys.